So today we're going to take on a huge challenge. We're going to build the interior of Grian's Hermitcraft 7 mansion. This huge space that you see here is all going to be completely decorated with a storied build that complements Grian's mansion itself. But first, of course, we have to build the exterior. Oh boy. And we're not talking about one of those pathetic facades. No, we're going to double down. We're going to actually do this right. We're going to design the exterior as close to Grian's mansion as we can get. At least all of the aspects of the exterior that influence the interior size. This is going to be a full-scale build on the Hermitcraft 7 seed itself, around the same area where Grian actually built his mansion in. And you're going to want to stay tuned towards the end, where the whole interior tour is revealed. I'm really excited. This is a huge project, so I think this is the best time to mention, as my guy is running around there. According to my analytics, my only subscriber is Danny DeVito, trapped inside of a Yu-Gi-Oh card with cannons for hands. It's a terrible disorder and just a terrible situation, so I would love it if you press the subscribe button, the bell button, and if this video could get like 5k likes, then that would officially free Danny and remove him of his cannon arm curse. So thank you so much. Let's get right into this build. So when designing absolutely grand interiors such as this one, I think it's very important to first step back before you do anything and ask yourself a few different questions. First off, what does the exterior of the build make me think of? AKA, what does it make me feel like? And that's a great way to flesh out a great bit of lore, some story, some body, something that's going to enhance the building experience, something that's going to enhance the visitor experience, something that's going to make it less of a drag, less annoying, and you're going to be able to have more inspiration and motivation to actually finish the project. So, what does the build make me think of? Well, a lot of people, when they look at Grian's mansion, they go, oh, okay, it's like a haunted mansion. Other people say it's like a wizard's palace. Other people say it's like a Disney castle. Other people say it's like a factory or something of that nature. And, to be completely honest, I agree with a lot of those. And I think those are all really great, observations about what the interior could look like. But personally, the aspect I most wanted to capitalize on and what excited me the most was to make kind of an abode that perhaps a wizard bought out. It used to be a school, and then a wizard bought it, and now he's running this school for wizards in there. And it's not exactly haunted, it's not exactly dilapidated, but, there's holes in the floor, there's overgrown vines and things of that nature, but it's a nice magical build with all kinds of magical things. There's an area for greenery, there's an Mage's headquarters with a huge fireplace, and there's a giant lecture hall with a giant chandelier. Things of that nature came to mind immediately. So now it's important to think of what is going to be the block palette. And something came to mind immediately when I thought of, Wizards College. Obviously, the whole Mage's headquarters thing is inspired by Skyrim. So there's going to be aspects of Skyrim in this build, which is really exciting. But also the block palette itself, something came to mind, and that is the Deathly Mansion theme from old school RuneScape. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, Draenor Mansion in RuneScape has that theme. Also, a lot of houses in coords have it, and you can actually make your own house this block palette. And what it basically is, this purple wallpaper, and it has trim on the top and bottom, and it has a lot of kind of creepy things going on about it. And I thought that was absolutely perfect. And I think, how do I translate that into Minecraft? Blue terracotta and the side of the loom as the trim came to mind almost immediately, with a smattering of your oak logs, your spruce logs, and also dark oak logs, with a very high focus on stripped dark oak as the floor. So in other words, if you took Harry Potter, Skyrim, and old school RuneScape and you mushed them together and made them make sweet love, then the child would be this interior to this build. And in terms of the individual room design, I actually had Grian in mind. And that's not to say that I build the entire interior in the style of Grian, and it changed all of my decisions. I did want to build it in my style, but it did change some decisions in terms of, no, that's too textured, or no, he would not do that. But yeah, I did think of Grian as the wizard that's running this college, and you see some pretty comedic aspects of that throughout. As you can see here, the exterior exterior build time lapse is starting to come to an end, and I'm actually pretty happy with how the end turned out. Obviously, all the side extensions are not actually on the build itself because they don't actually influence the interior size, and I actually pulled the mansion up quite a bit further so the snow doesn't accumulate. Because like a little further back is where Grian actually built the mansion, and that's why you see all the snow, and they had to actually string the roof all the way along. And I changed quite a few things about, you know, certain aspects of the castle, and some things I think made it a bit better, some things a lot worse. It was very difficult to do, but it was really, really fun at the end of the day. And I'm just really, really excited to show you what I've come up with the interior, so I'm going to show that off right now. So there are many ways to approach the grand entrance, and I did change up the front door here. I think with trapdoors it looks quite nice. And you enter in the small little door. So is it going to be a grand entrance? No. But you'll see what I do in a second here. So this is just a quaint little hallway, and I really, really like the way that it turned out. See, we have that blue terracotta with the trim going on. And I don't want to linger here too long, but I love this hole in the floor here. I love the idea of having to jump over something in your floor, and the students have to do the same thing. And we got you know, little cabinets here and things of that nature. The fog going down and all the creepy little spiders down there. Yeah, that really puts the icing on the cake, and you see the support beams going through. Really cool stuff. But then we go into a slightly larger room. You know, we have a really, really nice chandelier here that I actually based on the design. I think it was by Scar, actually. Whoever did the chandelier inside of the town hall, I based this design on. And I don't know, like it just gives you a little taste of town hall inside of Grian's mansion, and I think it works in this room just perfectly. And something I really wanted to have an emphasis on is a lot of bookshelves, and really, really highly detailed bookshelves. And this bookshelf right here and a lot of the bookshelves around the place were designed by Gold Robin on Pinterest, and mine looks a lot different than his in a lot of ways, but like some aspects I did borrow, and it inspired a lot in me for this. And I just absolutely love the vines coming down here, you know, just kind of a wizard that doesn't really care about, you know, a very clear infestation. And we have some endermites in there that actually give that little purple glowing effect there. That chandelier here as well. And this grand bookshelf. We're not going to go this way yet. We're actually going to go this way, which is absolutely my favorite room, and I'm really excited to show you. So just take it all in for a second here. So this is actually the room that leads up to the Archmage's headquarters, and for whatever reason, neglect or whatever, you know, the wizard has allowed just like a massive forest to grow in this space, and a cave is formed around. As you can see, this took me a long time to design. We have a nice texturing of andesites, light gray concrete, stone, and gravel, and that just creates just enough texture, and you know, has those type of parabolic shapes going on. And we actually have a nice night sky up there. I didn't want to put too many stars up there, because no matter what you do, no matter how many stars you dabble up there, you're almost always going to get, your mind's going to create a constellation, and it looks just weird. Like no matter what I did, I always made the Big Dipper, and it looked really cheesy. But yeah, kind of taking something out of Tango Tech's book up there, and I mean, I'm just really proud of this tree right here. And we have a couple of pesky birds up in the tree, and invisible item frames showing off these azure bluets. And this tree over here is actually growing your golden apples. We have some panes hanging from both the trees. I was trying to get like kind of a willow feel to it, and this one I wanted to get like a twisting feel to it, and I think I nailed it. I'm not that great with trees, but after this, you know, this was a good challenge, and I'm really, really glad that I took this, you know, approach to this particular build. And as you can see, I have another one up here with a nether portal there. And yeah, this just all leads up to the Archmage's quarters, which is over there. And as we see here, we actually have a trading hall of weaponsmiths and armorers, and they've kind of created a little Scandinavian home here in this whole cave area. They have their own little farm here, and I love this system here, you know, just trapping them in the trapdoors. And you know, if we go in here, we have a little forge and some beds, you know, just creating a little bit of story around the fact that, you know, these villagers have created their own little society up here. And then we have some librarians in here. Very, very compact system here. You can do a lot of trading here and barely even move, which is really, really nice. Taking in all these rock formations and little ponds. Here we have a cave with some boil toilet trouble type deal going on. Wow. Even just going back on, because it's been a while since I've worked on any of this, and here's a bunch of clerics, very underrated villagers in my opinion. No one really uses clerics, but redstone trade, hello. And now to the actual Archmage's quarters. So we have a little kitchen here, a little quaint little kitchen. I'm not very good at kitchens and bathrooms and things of that nature. It's kind of my weak spot, but I think I nailed it pretty good. Right, we have a nice tiled floor here. We have some berry bushes up there, stove, all kinds of plants and things of that nature. Bunch of farmers here that you can trade with. I'm not terribly pleased with, you know, how that all looks, but I think it looks pretty good. And we have the lamps here. And some aspects of this kitchen design actually were designed inspired by Oshakra. So I took some aspects of that Pinterest design and translated it here. I changed a lot of things, but like, for example, these lamps and a couple of these little details like the sea pickles and things of that nature, I borrowed from that design. So thank you, Oshakra, for that one. And let's turn around. Look at that. This fireplace design took me a long time to make, especially because working gray into this particular color palette is very tricky, and it could be really, really overwhelming. But I think this is the perfect size. And of course, you make your dinner here. You come over here and you munch it up. You got some azure bluets up here in these little pots there. And I know Grian said he wanted a super smelter on this side of the building, so I built one. This is where the fuel goes, and this is where the smeltables go. But the question is, where do they come out? Well, we'll get back to you in a few seconds on that one. It takes a couple seconds for the super smelter to kick in. Okay, so it's been about 30-40 seconds or so, and now we have smooth stone raining from the ceiling. Like, what's going on here? Obviously, this is terribly inefficient, but for the joke. Oh, okay, so I mean, there's only so much I can say about this. So the idea I had is perhaps, Grian took an essence of himself, maybe something he wanted purged, and, manifested it into an avatar of sorts, and chained it up here. And, it's breaking out at certain points. It's wielding the power of fire. There's a lot of things to talk about here. And he spits out anything that goes through the super smelter. And I just love the way this turned out. As you can see, there's the items that siphon into his head there. Kind of nightmare fuel, to be completely honest. And here's the super smelter down here. There's actually another system here that I want to show you. I've actually rigged up some redstone timings here. So let's say you want some golden carrots and some fire resistant potions. So all you gotta do is you wait for a second and that module down there fires, and there's some redstone timings going on there. Oh, this is so stupid. Oh man, okay. Well, yeah, so yeah, we have 65 golden carrots. For some reason, I couldn't get 64. And we have 4 potions of fire. And similar things happen with the torches and the ender pearls. I think you get 17 ender pearls, and you get 64 here. Let's just click that as we walk around a little more clearly. Oh yeah, okay. And here come the ender pearls, and I mean, here's the prison, I suppose, for the masons and things of that nature. Masons, I can't stress how much I love these guys. These are one of the best villagers, and I think this is a cool way to implement a trading hall. And I kind of have that same style of cave in here that I had in the foresty area. I'm not super happy with this. I think it's over textured, and I didn't have time to kind of do this whole section that Avatar Grian is actually in, but I love the smoke coming up and all those small details and the fire. I just love the way this has come out with the portal here, and this of course brings you to the other side here, so you can actually just fly right through and visit Avatar Grian whenever you want. So now we're going into the side where the students will typically go. So first off, we're going to go into here where, this is kind of the student commons. So we got a bathroom here. We got a variety of bunk beds. It's a bunk for bunk beds. So there's 4 bunk beds down here, and then a ladder that goes up to 5 more bunk beds. I'm not a huge fan of how this section turned out. I wanted to make like a couch, but I had a hard time with it, and I had a hard time making it look good. But I'm actually pretty happy with this bathroom here. I think that turned out pretty good. We have the nozzle there. We have towels hanging here, and this toilet you pull. It's one of those things that you tug, and here's the mirror. Yeah, good stuff. And kind of a kitchen that kind of echoes the other kitchen, but it's got a really long flat grill there. I don't know why students would need that, but yeah, this is where the students sleep. And now the lecture hall, where the lectures happen. Whoa! Yeah, and this is the most recent room I constructed, so I'm still not over, how grand this room really, really is. So of course, we have the netherite lecture thingamajigger here, lectern, and you just see the whole scope of the room. And obviously I've built on this chandelier design here, just expanding it further and further. Lots of beacons, obviously. This is pretty, unless Grian got a hookup deal with Impulse there, it's pretty much impossible to make it survivable. Not for the most part. It's one of those is it worth it type of things. But we have a chalkboard down there. We have some Union Jacks going on here because, Grian hails from such a region. We have a nice balcony up here. I really love the curvature of the roof here, going up and down, up and down. That took me a long time to design and to figure that one out. Lots of tries and retries. I'm kind of like Etho in the sense that I hate making roofs. And designing the walls here was very difficult as well. I found a hard time doing that, but I do love the feel you get when you stand in here, and you can almost imagine the students sitting here. But anyway, I'm just really happy that I was able to get this room the way that I like it, and my image, my vision for this room was pretty much like this. All these bookshelves along here took a very, very, very long time to make. The shapes and angles of the interior of Grian's mansion are very, very tricky. This whole 2x2x2x2 type angling is complicated to work within. You don't really know until you've been there, but it's really, really hard to finagle your way around weird corners. These walls looked plain for several days until I figured out how to, get a balcony coming along here. So now we're going to break through here. Sorry there. But this is, kind of an open area where you could put a lot of farms. And I know, I kind of cheated this. I could have put a lot more stuff here, but ultimately, Grian did want a lot of room for, micro farms and things of that nature, and I wanted to stay true to that vision. I didn't actually have time to make all of the farms, but, here's a bamboo farm that you could have a flying machine with rails underneath. I actually physically made the sheep farm, as you can see. We have the orange wool and blah, 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 blah. Just no collection system. And yeah, like my initial intention was to actually fill this all up with farms, but lots of room for an iron farm and lots of other farms that you would want to do. Did I 100% fill the space optimally? I filled a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. Like I filled a ridiculous amount of it, but yeah, perhaps I could have filled it a little bit better. But yeah, I did want to stay true to the idea that farms need to fit here, and of course I have the super smelter over there and things of that nature. And yeah, that is pretty much the entire thing. As I said earlier on in this video, this took me 6 days of straight playtime to design in its entirety, and that is by far the most time I've ever put into a Minecraft project ever. And I just really, really thank you guys for coming by. I know I haven't posted in quite a long time. I got sick over and over and over, and family stuff happened, and yada, yada, yada. Classic YouTuber excuses and all of that. But I'm most definitely back, and I'm looking forward to making some excellent original content coming up here very, very soon. And this is just the beginning of it all. All right, kisses. Bye-bye.